like I've never like hated anybody as much as I hate them, like his team. I hate him. I hate everybody associated with them. Just the way they talk, the way they try to avoid it, and they try to act like, oh, we would fight him, but it's like they're trying to do everything they can to avoid it.
Belal Muhammad claims the UFC will realize what they had the whole time if he wins at UFC 304. UFC welterweight title challenger Belal Muhammad has claimed that champion Leon Edwards is the worst guy to be the champion for the UFC. After going on a 10-fight undefeated streak, Belal Muhammad made himself undeniable for the next welterweight title shot and will finally get his rematch against Leon Edwards on July 27th at UFC 304. Since their first fight in 2021, Muhammad has gone on to win 5 fights, taking out names like Stephen Thompson, Vicente Luque, and Gilbert Burns. Ahead of the biggest fight of his career thus far, Belal has admitted that he hates Edwards and his team for taking so long to give him a title shot.
And that's what pisses me off more than anything, because like you were just in this boat, like you weren't giving, you had to fight 9 times to get up to where you were, and you said nobody's giving me a shot. When I get the shot, I'm gonna change the division, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and you're doing the exact opposite. So for myself, when I see that fakeness, like, and then you try to play the role of like, oh, I would have beat him anyway, this and this, or trying to brush me down like my achievements aren't worth anything to you. It's like, oh well. No, let's see if anybody really deserves it next. And you're trying to downplay everything I did when I really had the hardest path that anybody's ever had to get where I am right now.
Leon is one of the lesser spoken UFC champions and isn't someone who uses his social media to promote his fights or to increase his fan base. And although Muhammad isn't the most popular fighter either amongst fans, he believes because of that reason, the UFC won't mind if Edwards loses his title at UFC 304. Although Edwards is currently ranked 3rd in the pound-for-pound rankings, Muhammad believes he's the easiest fight in the top 5 because he's breakable.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I think he's the easiest guy in the top 5. So stylistically for myself, yeah.
So why is that specifically? Just because he's a striker?
Because he's breakable. We've seen him in the Usman fight. And my mentality is to try to break you. And I think that the style that Usman brought in that second fight of walking him down, high volume on him, taking him down, letting him back up, beating him up, getting to the point where, bro, he was looking down. His coach had to like motivate him to get up. When you see his corners, there's never advice in the corner like, yo, let's hit this jab, let's hit that. It's always like, bro, beautiful, Leon, come on, brother.
Come on, son. Start being the boss here. Come on, Leon. Be the boss, okay? Come on, we're going to pull back one now. It's 1-1. Come on. Come on, Leon.
They're trying to give him motivation because he's weak mentally. And I'm the strongest mentally fighter in the UFC. So my mentality is to walk in there and break him. Now, I'm going in there with a different type of anger now because I hate him so much. And like the only other fight I really had that type of anger with was the Sean Brady. This fight, people are disrespecting me. They think that Leon's gonna walk through me. So for me, it's always proving people wrong and showing them like nobody thinks I could do it. Nobody thought I could get to where I am today. Nobody thought I could do it. I've had family members tell me that they didn't think I could do it here. But where I get my motivation from is the doubt, from the hate. Bro, Twitter world, all that stuff, I don't really care about it. People can say whatever they want to say, but all I'm going to do is keep winning.
Well, this is probably going to be the worst fight camp of my life. You know what I mean? It's going to be very hard. It's probably going to be the worst fight camp I've ever had.
Paddy Pimblett says this will be his worst fight camp and reacts to Sausage Bobby Green.
It's one of them. You get on with it. Obviously, I wish they weren't coming to the UK so soon, but at the same time, I want to get back in the cage, so it's one of them. I've just got to get on with it.
It's probably the right mindset, right? Because it's kind of the fuck thing about it is it's the hardest camp you're going to have against the highest level of opposition you're going to have, but the attitude is like you just have to get on with it. When you're never short of people wanting to fight you, right? So obviously you knew that.
It's funny, the amount of people that I've seen mention
people
me.
Just hate
lad,
you,
people just love mentioning me, lad. It's great, you know. It's funny, lad. Like, it was the other day, Chase Super and someone else on that card. The week before or 2 weeks before, someone else. Then you've got on UFC 300, Bobby Green, lads. Every card, someone's mentioned me. You know what I mean? It's great. People keep mentioning me, boys. Keep me in the limelight.
Despite Bobby Green being ranked in the 155-pound division, Paddy has admitted that he wanted to fight Renato Moicano instead because it would have made for a more enjoyable lead-up to the fight. Ahead of the fight, Bobby Green has torn into Pimblett, calling him a spoiled brat and claiming that he's going to humble the Brit.
You obviously called out Paddy Pimblett for this rumored Manchester card in July. Is that just because, like, we've heard you say, like, if you say my name once, like, you're on my radar? Is that simply Paddy said your name and you want to fight him?
Facts. You know, everybody's like, well, why'd you call Bobby? Because he called me. He shouldn't have said my name. He should have kept it to those other guys. this guy right here will find you. And when I line it up and I get the sights right, you're gonna pay dearly.
Paddy has responded to Green by saying it wasn't he who called out Green first, instead it was Green who called out Pimblett. Then he went on to give him a few choice British insults, including calling him a little sausage.
Yeah, he's a proper tool, lad.
Yeah,
he's a proper weapon. Like, he is though. The funniest one is he says, oh, he mentioned me. I didn't mention you. You mentioned me first. So then I mentioned you. You little sausage.
Is it like, so, because back and forth happening in MMA all the time, but does this one feel a little bit more personal? I remember there was obviously the incident in London where you ended up teabagging a gentleman, but does this one feel more personal because he's been quite vicious in what he says about you?
No, lad, because everyone talks about me, so it's all the same. But he's just a proper tool, lad. Like, I think he's a proper shit human being. So
what makes you say that?
He's just a proper wanker, lad. Like, he's saying that I mentioned him first, lad. He's just lying. Why would I mention you? Why would I mention Bobby Green, lad?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As a fighter, in terms of his skill set, compared to Moicano, who you wanted to fight, what do you view as Bobby Green, where his strengths are and where his weaknesses are?
No, he's got very good striking. You know what I mean? He's got good hands, but his chin's gone after what happened with Jalen Turner. So, like, Jim Miller's no knockout artist, and he wobbled him once or twice in that fight on UFC 300, and I think that is off Jalen Turner.
Yesterday, I was in a petrol station. This guy came over and he went, "Hey Tom, what about John saying all this on Twitter?" I went, "Oh, I don't know, mate. I'm not on it. I don't see any of it." "Yeah, it's all come out, hasn't it? It's all come out." I went, "Yeah, what do you mean?" He went, "Well, he's gay."
Tom Aspinall is leaving social media to prepare for Curtis Blaydes. Before his fight against Curtis Blaydes was announced, Tom Aspinall had been involved in several back and forths with undisputed heavyweight champion John Jones. Although at one point it seemed his dream fight could become possible.
Wait, do one. Just saying hello. Just saying hello. We'll do a quick picture.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
A face off. No.
Jones made it clear that he would wait for his fight against Stipe Miocic instead of fighting the interim champion. After having his fun with Bones on X, Aspinall has decided to come off of social media for the entirety of his UFC 304 fight camp, and he's explained why.
I wanted to do something different for this camp. I realised that I spend a lot of time on social media, mate. I don't like how much time I spend on it, and I feel like in the time in between training sessions now for the full camp, I want to be resting, and I feel like social media just drags me down a lot. So what I did, as you know, people I speak to regularly on WhatsApp, I sent them a voice note, like a blanket voice note, and I was like, "Listen, I'm staying off social media for the full camp. I've got someone else posting for me, a member of my team's posting for me. I don't want anybody to screenshot anything about fighting, about any comments, I don't want to know about it. I want to focus 100% on beating Curtis Blaydes. That's what I'm doing. You can speak to me about normal stuff, whatever, normal everyday stuff, but I don't want screenshots and updates on the MMA world." That being said, obviously anywhere I go, other people who I don't have the number and I don't speak to regular, they tell me about what's going on. For example, yesterday I was in a petrol station. This guy came over and he went, "Hey Tom, what about John saying all this on Twitter?" I went, "Oh, I don't know, mate. I'm not on it. I don't see any of it." He went, "Yeah, it's all come out, hasn't it? It's all come out." I went, "Yeah, what do you mean?" He went, "Well, he's gay. He's gay. John Jones is gay now. Says it on Twitter." I'm like, "Mate, that's exactly why I'm not on social media, because of stuff like this." So I've got the gist of some of the stuff what he's saying.
Maybe I'll make that the headline to this video. Tom Aspinall, John Jones is gay now.
That's what I don't know anything about it, mate. I'm not on social media. I'm just going off what one guy said at a petrol station. But apparently there's some, I don't know, something about him arguing with a fan on DMs.
So there's some DMs.
Has a fan called him gay or something? I don't know.
He's gay. Look at his post. He's gay. There's no denying it. That's a gay post.
No, there's a YouTuber called MMA Guru called him gay.
Oh, I know Guru. Yeah.
I know. So
he's come out and said that he's gay.
That was a while ago, though. That's a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, maybe this guy in the petrol station's got it all mixed up.
No.
This is exactly why I'm not on social media, because things just get like...
So he's been talking about you a lot, which is funny because I remember a time where you thought he didn't even know who you were.
Yeah.
And I remember when he tweeted about you after you beat Pavlich, and you were like, "Oh, he knows who I am."
Yeah.
Talks about you quite a lot now.
Oh, there's a lot of online tantrums going on.
Jones has predicted that Razor Blaydes will pull off the upset in Manchester at UFC 304, and that Tom Aspinall's hype train will soon be derailed.
Yeah, so he said that you're believing your own hype and he thinks Curtis might beat you.
Well, he might, mate. It's heavyweight MMA at the top level. Someone always might win. I believe in myself. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm the best in the world. But does that make me invincible? No, absolutely not. Like, it's heavyweight MMA, one shot off Curtis.
Yeah.
And the ref might be waking me up. That's how it works. This is like heavyweight MMA at the peak, the peak of the mountain. And yeah, of course there's a chance I can get knocked out. I'm fully aware of that, but I'm putting it on the line.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, he isn't.
When it comes to the UFC politics around who should be the champion and if Tom will be considered the true champion if John Jones retires, Tom says he's not focusing on any of that and he's only worrying about what's in front of him with Curtis Blades.
Do you think interim title, let's say you defend the interim title against Curtis, whatever happens with John and Stipe, they upgrade you to being the real champion. Do you think the interim defense should count as a real defense?
I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, all I'm thinking about right now is Curtis Blades.
Okay.
I'm honestly not bothered about it. John Jones. That's why I come offline.
Yeah.
Not bother what people are saying online. Not bother what I want. Trying to get the best training that I could possibly get to prepare for Curtis Blades. Anything after that doesn't really interest me.
Bit of a waste of time thinking about it at this point as well. Like, the topic of Stipe John Yu has been like going around and around.
Oh, mate, I'm so bored. That's exactly why I'm off social media. I feel like in a way better place mentally not being on it because it's just boring. I'm aware that I've got like a massive fight coming up, and I'm preparing for that.
Yeah.
And I'm preparing to take out Curtis Blades and giving it everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm giving it absolutely everything. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least I've had my best go.
Yeah.
But I think it'll work out.
Let's take a look at the top 3 comments left on yesterday's video. This user says, "No one cares. He's had plenty of major announcements and none of them were interesting. He's also done now." Mirko says, "Look who's juiced up. Just looking at him, you can clearly tell he's juiced right up." NYC Maverick says, "Jones is the champion who got injured while training for a fight with Stipe long before Aspinall won a fake interim belt. That fight needs to play out, and Jones was saying he was going to retire before he even knew who Aspinall was. Tom needs to move on and beat Blades because he's 0-1 against Curtis." You want your comments highlighted on tomorrow's video? Simply comment down below. We'll highlight the top 3 comments, good, bad, or indifferent, and feature them on tomorrow's video. And that does it for today's news, but make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, hit the bell notification so you get notified every time we drop a new video, and in case you missed it, here is yesterday's news.